Hey guys, all right, so today we're going to talk about how I use Go High Level to build a profitable SaaS business. So this is going to be kind of a step-by-step, higher level, no pun intended, overview of kind of how we operate and what we did to uh, get it to become profitable. Okay. So first, let's go ahead and talk about, kind of how I transitioned into this. So about 5 years ago, I got started with High Level, found it, started using it to fulfill on done for you services for customers. I decided to start an agency. It was a done for you agency, higher ticket. So packages ranging from $1,500 to $3,500 a month plus ad spend. We're primarily lead generation focused. I scaled two agencies in two different niches to over seven figures a year. So, processing anywhere from 80,000 to $130,000 a month in revenue. Okay. Um, the typical challenges that you face in this business or that business is churn, right? Unless, you put people in contracts, which is fine, you basically guarantee the revenue that you're going to collect from that customer, but they're mostly not renewing after those contracts are up. Whether it's a 90-day, 120-day contract, they're typically not going to renew. Why? It's too expensive, right? They can't necessarily close enough business in that time frame that they can justify continuing to pay you. Let's say you're charging $2,500 a month in an agency fee and then another $2,500 a month in ad spend. That's fine, $5,000 a month. So, if they, let's say, net three to $5,000 a month in revenue off of a closed deal, they're basically just break even, right? They're break even and they're doing, probably the same amount of work that they were doing before, before they signed up with you. So the problem with that model is it's too expensive. It eats into all of their profit margin. If they close two deals, let's say a month, okay, one closed deal covers the cost of you, another deal, covers, gives them some profit. But higher ticket deals are typically longer sales cycles, so they're not necessarily closing something in that first month, right? A $30,000 roof isn't necessarily going to close in 30 days. A $60,000, solar system isn't going to necessarily close in 30 days. Home purchase, right? $500,000 home purchase isn't necessarily going to close in 30 days. So the problem that you face with the done for you higher ticket agency services, especially if it's in the lead generation space, is client churn, right? So with those two agencies that I scaled, it was continuously a problem. This is a problem without throughout the entire industry. Um, so basically, I stopped operating those, kind of let those phase out, and took a step back for, about a year and a half and kind of really tried figuring out, okay, how do we position the product that we have, which is high level, in a way that it gives extreme amounts of value that, $99, $199, $299 monthly payment is a utility bill, right? Basically, it's like your electric bill, it's like your water bill, it's like your heat, it's like your, car insurance, it's like your phone, charge, it's your Wi-Fi charge, whatever. Utility bill. How do we position high level to become a utility bill? So it took some time to really think about that and you analyze the product and come up with something that is profitable for us to run as a company, but also has very, very low churn for customers or for our company as customers kind of come on and use the product, right? So that's kind of where we transition from the done for you higher ticket, utilizing the same product and transition to a low ticket, 99, 199, 299 a month product that's positioned as a utility bill where, it gives extreme amounts of value to them um, to continue using the product and not want to cancel, right? That's kind of where we transition to solely going into SaaS from agency done for you into do it yourself SaaS. Okay. So what is high level? High level is a white labeled, well, it's not white labeled. High level is a product that you can white label, meaning most of the businesses that you're going to be approaching or speaking to are using some sort of version that high level already has in there, right? Either they're piecing a lot of different company features together, meaning they're paying one company for one feature, another company for another feature, another company for another feature to piece this entire end result that they're looking for together, or they're not using it at all and they're looking for a solution that probably 90% of the solutions that these business owners are looking for are able to get provided via your white label version of high level. Okay. So think of high level as a product that most businesses are already using and paying for, or there's a feature within that product within high level that most businesses are already using and paying for, and all you're doing is putting your branding on that product, adding some other different, little things in there, whether it's, email marketing campaigns or SMS marketing campaigns or pre-built funnels or pre-built websites, right? That high level already even provides for you if you don't want to go and make your own, and you put that as, create that as a product and go out and sell it to business owners for a monthly recurring payment, okay? Um, so, how do we generate? We right now generate around 15 to 20 new signups per week. Okay. We're priced at $99 a month. And how do we kind of go about generating new business? Well, we run paid ads. Okay. So if you're just getting started in this and you don't have a budget for paid ads, you don't need to go in and start running paid ads. When I first started, I, either went to local businesses in my area, or found local businesses on Google, contacted them. Hey, we have a product that helps you solve this. Are you interested in, getting a demo, right? Something along the lines of that. But anyways, how our flow works is we run paid ads to a webinar that we host once a week. It's positioned as a free training, and it is a free training that we give to our target niche on how to generate their own leads, right? So most of the industries that you're going to want to go after, probably with high level, should be relatively, you know, or heavily focused on leads. They always need new leads, and most businesses do, right? Most businesses are always going to be looking for leads, especially if they're, local businesses, not e-com businesses. So that's kind of who this product is for. But basically, you would have your own version of high level with your own branding. You have the final product. You don't have to develop it anymore, right? And you go to local businesses and say, hey, I have a product. I have this feature within my product that helps you achieve Y result, right? You give them X to achieve Y, okay? So why do you want to use this type of a business? Why do you want to get this type of business set up? So a common misconception that people have is first of all, I'm going to point this out: recurring business, recurring revenue versus reoccurring revenue, right? Reoccurring revenue is not recurring revenue. Reoccurring revenue is like, let's say Coca-Cola, right? Coca-Cola does not have a recurring revenue model. They have a reoccurring revenue model. You buy one can of Coke. Most people don't just buy one can of Coke throughout their entire life. They buy multiple cans of Coke, multiple bottles of Coke throughout their life, which that is a reoccurring revenue model. They have customers reoccurring to buy the same product over and over again, right? Versus a recurring revenue model that's basically, any software company, Netflix. Netflix is a recurring revenue model. You pay, what is it, $14, $12 a month right now for your Netflix subscription, and that gets billed every single month as you use the product, right? So that's what high level allows you to do, is basically have a recurring revenue business model in the software industry, right? So why this is so important is because the number one problem most business owners have is, where is their next check coming from? Where is the next, deal coming from? Because they have X bill, Y bill, Z bill that they have coming up in 30 days that they need to pay, right? So they need to go and always hunt new business to bring in revenue, and hopefully more revenue than their current bills are. And that's, the profit gap that they put into their pocket, right? Versus a recurring business model, it's basically, what you have coming in next month. If I have $10,000 a month in recurring revenue, I know I have $10,000 coming in next month, and I know I have $10,000 coming in the following month, right? So you are able to take that type of model and not necessarily always be in a scarcity mindset. Where is my next deal coming from, right? Where's the next check going to come from? You know you have revenue coming in, and now you can focus on making a better product. You can focus on spending more time, right? You didn't get in business to just always hunt business. You got into business to enjoy it, to get back your time, right? So the recurring revenue model is such a huge thing because it first of all, a lot of companies that you see that sell for these extreme amounts of money, 100 million, 200 million, 500 million, those companies, and especially if they're in the software space, right? Those companies, they're not doing 100 million a year in revenue. They're maybe doing 20 million a year in revenue. They're maybe doing 10 million a year in revenue. But it's the person who's buying the company understands that that revenue is always going to come in. So they get these massive multiples, 5x, 7x, 8x, 10x multiples on that current revenue because that whoever is buying the company knows that revenue is always coming in, right? So if you're looking to start an online business, my suggestion would be to focus on a business that's not necessarily reoccurring or like a one-time hit, right? You don't have you sell a product and you have that customer and they never come back to you again. You have a model that's reoccurring. Somebody pays you X amount every single month and you have that revenue coming in every single month, right? So, how can you get started? Well, first thing is identifying a niche. I would always focus on identifying a niche to go after, whether that's, real estate agents, home service providers, and I would even get more granular with home service providers, kitchen and bathroom modelers, roofers, general contractors, siding people, window replacement companies, garage door replacement companies, right? That's home services. Solar professionals, mortgage brokers, loan officers, right? These are the types of industries that I'll go after. And what's the common denominator there? And all those industries, they're always looking for sales. They're always looking for leads, right? Um, and with that, they're gonna they're always gonna pay for a system that's gonna generate them consistent leads. Okay. Um, with high level, then you identify your target and you figure out, what feature is going to help your target market get Y result. For example, let's say you're going after roofers and they don't want to necessarily pay money, for ads, but they want to, somehow generate leads organically. Well, one thing you can do with high level is set up, automate their reviews. It's not just automating reviews though. Reviews to Google, positive reviews to Google helps push that local listing to the top three of the map, right? They call it a map pack. So if your customer, your client can generate a good amount of positive reviews, Google's going to favor that and they're going to drive them up into the map listings. And with that, as people search, right, on Google for roofers near me, and they're within that area that your customer services, well, if they're in the top three, that traffic's going to, go to the top one, two, or three. That's what's being shown. If your customer has the most reviews, the most positive reviews, right? Then phone calls are going to happen, website visits are going to happen, schedules are going to happen right off of that Google My Business listing. And your customer doesn't even need to pay any sort of advertising dollars, right? Um, and that takes 15 minutes to get set up for your customer within high level. It's one quick automation. So there's a lot of different features within high level that you can sell to your target niche. I wouldn't sell everything all at once. It's finding one niche and one product to sell them to achieve Y result, right? So exploring high level is important so that you understand kind of what's going on in there, what are the features, but then being able to identify your niche, what challenges they face to give them the end result that they're looking for, right? So, basically, what you guys could do now is we have a private community. It's free. My business partner and I started a few months ago. We have, I think, 200 members in there. But we have some, free trainings in there. So if you guys want to get started, go ahead and join that private community. We're always answering, we're always, dropping nuggets in there, kind of what we're seeing, how we're operating, what is working for us, what's not working for us. We're very transparent with everything. This isn't, our main thing. But we just, we kind of want to give back, provide some value for people that are looking to get started with high level, have never heard about high level, are looking for, some sort of an opportunity, to start something, understand the product a little more. So, like I said, yeah, if you guys want to join the community, go ahead and hit the link in the description. Like I said, it's completely free. And then we'll see you guys in there. All right. If you guys like this, let me know. I'll continue making some of these videos for you guys. And like I said, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out to us in the community. All right. See you guys in the next one.